Welcome to Floor Planner. Floor Planner uses the power of Formatized Form Sketch to help you create incredible sketches, drawings, and diagrams on your mobile phone, tablet, or desktop. Naturally, like any type of drawing tool, the bigger the screen space you have, the easier it is to use. However, you can now seamlessly switch between devices and continue your sketch wherever you are. So, let's take a guided tour of Floor Planner, review its different features, and give you some ideas on how to make the most of it. You can access the Floor Planner feature from the bottom Form Sketch menu. Just select the Floor Planner icon here to open the Floor Planner toolbox. The toolbox includes the different wall options, the eraser, the wall intersect tool, the door tool, and the window tool. We have the wall tool selected already, so you can see the submenu above contains the different wall options: external, internal walls, partition walls, and the color palette selector. So now that we've got external wall option selected, let's go up and add it to our sketch. I'm going to select the starting point, and then as I move along, you can see that the measuring tool is automatically working for me. Alternatively, I can just click where I want that wall to continue to and add it, but I like to use the measuring tool so that everything is always kept perfectly to scale. Now, let me just quickly finish adding the shape of this floor layout, and there we are, complete. Now, one thing to be aware of is, as you are adding a wall, you can see that there is an indicator at the end. The green indicator shows you the current live endpoint of the sketch. So, if I'm going to continue the wall from here, it will start from the green live endpoint. However, if I want to continue working from another part of the plan, the indicator will be blue, so I need to select it first to make it the live endpoint. By selecting it, the endpoint will change from blue to green, and then you can continue your sketch from the new live endpoint. Again, if I want to change that, I can just select it and make another endpoint green to continue from there. So, that's just an important thing to note. Your wall extensions will continue from the green live endpoint. Now that I've completed the external walls, I will click to select the internal wall option. And again, in the same way, I deactivate the current endpoint and select where I want the new internal wall to begin. Then I just simply add the internal walls in the same way, making the endpoint green and ready to use, and continue to build out all of the rooms. And there we are. In no time at all, and with a little practice, you can complete the floor plan with the different room layouts so easily. If something is slightly wrong, then you can grab that endpoint and move its position and square it up so that it's exactly right. Partition walls work in exactly the same way. They're just a thin line. You can see it changes that wall to be thinner as partition wall styling. Now let's add some doors to the floor plan. I'm going to select the door tool in the bottom menu, and then I simply select on the floor plan where I need to add the door. So, I'll add one here and another one here. Once you've added it, you can then edit it by either flipping it horizontally or vertically to get it in exactly the right position that you need to suit your floor plan. Once you have added an item, like a door or window or anything else, if you want to then edit that item, you need to select it by first clicking on the select arrow icon up in the top left-hand corner. Then you can select the individual item that you want to edit, like resizing it, or by selecting it and moving the item to a different location. So, just remember that you need to select an individual item before you are able to edit it. So we've seen how you add doors to the plan. Okay, now let's add some light to this place. We need to add some windows. So again, I select the Floor Planner toolbox at the bottom, select the Windows tool, and then position the windows where I'd like them on the plan. Once you've added a window and you want to edit it, remember, we need to use the Select button first, then select the window that we want to change, and then you can either move it or extend it and make it bigger with the Editing tool. But to do that, you just have to select it first. Now, I want to edit the other window, so I select it and then I can make it larger by expanding the edit box. That's so cool! Okay, so that's the window tool. As a recap, we've covered the different types of walls and then the doors and windows. The intersect wall tool enables you to intersect existing walls and then add new walls from the intersection point. Now that we have the floor plan layout done, and of course, you'll do a much better job of it than me, we have lots of different options to add more detail if needed to your plan, like adding icons or images from your image library. To do this, we are just going to leave the floor planner and go into the main Form Sketch menu by selecting the back arrow on the left-hand side of this floor planner menu. Okay, so this is the main Form Sketch menu. This shows you all of the options: freehand drawing, lines, shapes, arrows, notes, and text. Images include things like trees, for example. Oh, there is also the upload icon on the end where you can upload photos, images, Google Maps, and add them to your plan. Okay, let's click on the images icon, and then I'm going to pick my favorite tree from the library. You can see that there are a range of beautiful trees and shrubs to choose from, plus a whole lot more. When I have made my choice, I can see my selection highlighted here, so I can just click on the plan to add it in position. You can uncheck your selection to reopen the image library. I can use the duplicate option in the top menu, or I can just keep clicking to add more of the same tree. So let's say we add 3 trees. I'll add one here, click again to add one here, and another one here. Once you have added them, you can select each one individually and then make changes to them. You can make them larger or smaller or move them around the floor plan. You can see as I move, these awesome red guidelines appear to help me position things on the floor plan either equally or in alignment to what's already there. So they're just really helpful alignment tools to get your images lined up with the other items on the sketch. So these are part of what we call images, and we have a whole library of them available to choose from. We'll be adding to the library all the time, but there's lots of other things like furniture, kitchen appliances, living room and bathroom images, even outdoor paving tiles, for example. I can select a bed from the bedroom collection and then go ahead and position it where I would like it, then hit the select tool to edit it. I can make it larger or smaller, and then I can move it around within the bedroom to get the alignment exactly as I'd like. So lots of tools are ready for you to use to add fantastic details to your floor plan or outdoor site plan. The grouping tool at the top means that you can grab a range of items, and you'll see that the blue box appears around all of the selected items. Once they're grouped, you can move them together, and that applies to anything you have grouped as items. To deselect an item if it doesn't happen naturally, click on the hand icon, and that will remove any selections that you've made, including the selected items. Alright, the next thing I want to show you on the floor plan is the icons section. Icons are different to images because when you add icons, you also get a super smart automated legend that creates all by itself. So let's take a look at the icons library now. We have a full suite of general type icons that you can click and select and add to your drawing. So go to the bottom menu and then select the icons item. In this example, we have the general icons library and the pest control industry icons, and they are fantastic. Under the general icon list, there are things like letters, numbers, compass and wind direction indicators, and a whole lot more. These are so easy to add to your plan and create so much detail and value with just a click. Back to the list, and we will go in and have a look at the pest control industry set. Again, there are so many to choose from. There is a search icon next to the heading. You can select the search and type in the item you are looking for. Otherwise, you can scroll to locate just what you need. So I might write termite, and my different termite options will come up. You can see all the different icons that in this case are related to the term termites. So I'll review them and then select the one that I want to add. Okay, I think this one looks good. Now I can click to position them on the plan where the termites were identified by simply clicking on the location. To add more, you can just click to add as many times as you need to. Once you have done that, you might want to align them just to be neat, or maybe that's just me. But anyway, to align them, I'm going to hit the select button. I can then move them around, make them larger or smaller, and then line them up in the perfect position on the floor plan. Okay, with this final adjustment, we are done. And now for the magic part. Because, as you can see, I have added 3 termite activity indicator icons to the plan, you'll see down in the bottom right-hand corner that it has automatically created an awesome legend for me. It's given the name termite activity, and it's also given the number 3, so it's doing a live count of the items that I have added. Okay, to show you the legend grow, I'll go back to the library and add another icon to the floor plan. It's exactly the same steps as before. I just go back to the icon menu at the bottom, then select pest control, and then choose the next icon to use. It really is so easy to add as many icons as you need to create a really comprehensive visual of what's happening. This time I'll select the termite foam icon. I can add this to the drawing and I'll place it in 2 different areas, here and here. As you see in the menu in the bottom right, the termite foam has also been added automatically to our legend for us. There are 2 items. So it's a legend that automatically builds for you as you're drawing your plan. So there are lots of additional features, and then of course you've got all of the standard form sketch tools that are available to you as well. As I said earlier, after just a little bit of practice and exploring all of different options, you will be a master sketcher in no time and providing your clients with floor plans, site plans, diagrams and mud maps at such a professional quality. And in many cases, they don't need to be full floor plans. A simple floor outline with key elements added in is often all that is needed. It's entirely up to you. Okay, back to the menu, and the first icon on the left. This is the good old pencil tool that allows you to sketch anything freehand. It's perfect for circling items of interest or to focus on, or just to create a friendly squiggle like this. We have arrows if you want to point to specific items. And although I haven't shown you, you can upload images and photos with the upload icon so that they can be added directly to your floor plan too. A whole range of options to try to add detail and information to your sketches that your customer will really appreciate. While I think of it, you can clearly see the grid area in the center of the screen. The white area around the grid is what we call the workspace. You can add additional images or elements in the workspace, kind of like a file note, but if your plan is going to appear in your PDF report, only the contents in the grid will appear. Sometimes a picture really does tell 1,000 words. Speaking of words, if you want to add words like a comment or description or any other text to your plan, you just hit the text button near the middle of the menu. You can select the size, the font, the alignment, and the color. Then drag and create the text box where you would like the text to appear, and then you can start typing and adding the text that you'd like to use. Once you've added it, you can highlight it and then you can change the style or the color. When it's selected, you can then spin it around to match the angle you want it to be on your drawing tool. And with just a click, just select the color palette, your preferred color, and done. If you want to align the text or rotate any item, select it first and grab the handle or corner of the item and you can rotate it into position. It's so easy to get everything just right. So there is the floor planner with all of the extra features of FormSketch to create an awesome floor planner option. If you make a mistake, don't stress. Up in the top right-hand corner, you will see the undo and redo options. So any mistake can be undone with a click to take you back one step at a time. If you want to erase anything, just select the eraser tool and then swipe or rub out the item and you'll see it disappear. It might even be a section of the wall that you want to take out. So either erase the item or select undo at the top. So I will erase the arrow and then I'll take out a wall. Easy. And then whenever you want to save your image, and this is obviously important, you use the Save button up in the top right corner next to the undo icon. Let's take a look at the top menu. As you can see, it is divided into categories, and depending on your screen size, each section is labeled. We have the Action section, the Alignment section, the Arrange section, which allows to bring items forwards and backwards as different layers, then Reflect to flip horizontally and vertically, Grouping that I discussed earlier, and then the Grid section. As you move down in screen size to, say, a mobile phone, the menu condenses but the structure remains the same. So from the right, it's Redo, then Undo, and then the Save button. Next to that, you can see the Grid Settings section. Now, this is important because it enables you to completely customize the grid area to suit the type of drawing you are doing, or you may not want to have a grid at all. This is where you can customize the size, the measuring units used, and the style of the background grid. There are two items. The first one, with the grid icon, enables you to adjust the grid visibility by turning the grid on or off. We'll be adding more options here in the future too. With the grid settings icon next to it, you can use this to adjust the sizing and measuring units being used for the grid. You can see the scale and measuring be used on the top and left-hand side of the grid. The measurement units also apply when you are drawing walls in the floor planner too. You can change the width and height of the sketch area. You can also change the measuring tool into all of these different options as well. You can see the different scale to pixel choices so that you can get the scaling just as you want it. If you want to revert back to the default settings, just hit Default in the bottom left-hand corner and the settings will refresh to default, overriding any changes that you have made to the grid scale. Down in the bottom left corner, you can see the sketch layout with options to change your view. Then, up in the top left-hand corner is the hamburger menu. So, let's take a quick look at it. As you can see, there are a range of options around saving, viewing, and exporting. You can export your sketches in different formats, including SVG and PNG formats, which is great if you need to use them in other solutions. You can also adjust your view with a range of zoom in, zoom out, and zoom to fit options. You can also upload external media here as well. Pages are really useful if you are working on large projects or multi-level buildings, where you can have a separate sketch for each floor, or if you want to break your sketch down into different components. To add a new page, you can either copy the floor plan that you've got now by duplicating an existing page, or you can select the plus button to create a brand new page. All the controls are here. And then you can navigate between the pages by just selecting the page that you want to look at and continue with. You can then reorder the pages by moving them up or down in sequence to get the page order perfect for you. So there we are, I think my time is up. That's an overview of the floor planner, a very powerful tool that can be used in so many ways. We can't wait to see how you now use Floor Planner. Thanks for watching.